All right. Hello. Happy Thursday. Good morning, everybody. Doing a little before work musing. Because, yeah, it's popping off. Also, yeah, look, there's skulls. That's so funny. New cherry. It's totally a skull, or at least there's some kind of phenomena or, like, actually, like, biological explanation for that, or, like, our minds see faces in things. And it's actually like a legitimate, yeah, let's get some more lava while we talk about this, but it's a legitimate like survival aspect of just like our evolution. It's where we're we recognize faces quickly. So much so that we actually make faces out of nothing sometimes. And so hence why that definitely looks like a face, at least to me. Anyways, let's talk religion. So, for those that don't know, I have a whole playlist called The Two Taboos where I address politics and religion, at least from my perspective or the way I see things. And of course, it's not going to be the 100% correct answer or anything like that. But I mean, just having been raised Methodist, which is a flavor of Christianity, um, and grown up reading the Bible, singing the songs like the hymnals, and going to church every weekend, and sacrificing half of my, or well, a fourth of my weekend every week, all through or wait, I think once I hit high school, I was given a choice not to go, and I did. I chose not to go, but of course, I was already like giving up a lot more of my time for things like sports, which I mean, I'm not really giving up my time, but like dedicating most of my time actually, because with football we were doing like 2 a days and all that, like where we do two practices, one in the morning, one in the afternoon sometimes, and then like our evening practices would just go and go until we're like ready to throw up. And yeah, it's good times, but I'm really glad I did it. I hope my son follows in that, but I mean, I'm okay if he doesn't. As far as my daughter, I don't know, just some kind of team sport, because I feel like that's important for all kiddos, is to feel how it feels or see how it feels to work together to accomplish a goal. Like you're working with a team to win a game or lose a game, whatever. But as long as you had fun and as long as you got some exercise and like it actually makes your body perform and function better, your brain function better. Same with eating and all that stuff. But so right now I'm working on a few social. Oh, I came out of this one, I think. Interesting. So it probably picks one of these. Oh, that'd be dangerous though. Oh, because what if I fall to my death? All right, I might have to fix that because I could totally see that. If it picks a random one and I go up there, I should make like a ledge and just be like a safety ledge. And I can make it fancy looking, like use some kind of. Oh, yeah, that would be fun. I'm glad I thought about that now and not after I fall to my death. So, anyways, so politics and religion are like the two taboos, and I have a whole playlist on analyzing those, at least from my perspective, like what's going on and why people do the things they do, like argue on Facebook and social media and X app and all that. And I used to be really bad on Facebook. I used to get into it really bad because I grew up in a very conservative small mountain town. Like almost everybody was all Bush and all anti-Clinton and all Democrats are stupid. They just want to spend all our money that they, you know, when the way that Democrat voters usually saw it was like, why aren't we spending this money? And like, what's the point of taxes if it's not to make this country better? Or like, or pay teachers better or do these things. And, and why are there people running around with like 5 yachts while we got teachers buying their own school supplies? And basically a lot of people that have any kind of teachers in their family, I feel like have a tendency to be a little more Democrat leaning, but not always. Just because they see, wow, that's messed up, and it is too, and they know it, we know it. Trump, people like Trump and Elon are grasping at their wealth. They're like petrified that we'll close tax loopholes and start taxing them more, and rightly so. Like, I mean, I think I remember Elon talking about how much he paid in taxes. It's like, all right, cool story, but like, are you worried about making your electric bill this month, or like, are you gonna have to figure out like, put everything on the back burner so you can make sure that your kids have food in the morning, like, or whatever. And what is that? There's a Black Eyed Peas song where it's like talking about, someone doing adult work, and it's like, to feed a kid at home. And then they go back and forth. They're like, why don't you just get a job and stuff? Well, it's hard because you're taking care of a kid. And that is true. Like, you do need to find jobs that are flexible with your schedule because kids take a lot of time and nurturing, and especially in the early years. And that's why, I really like the idea of universal pre-K and stuff like that. And don't worry, this is getting back to religion, but uh, so in fact, let's go ahead and go full circle right now. So on the X app, I posted mostly satire. Like it was a picture of Jesus hugging Kamala Harris and saying that she was chosen by God 2024, Harris whatever, and and it made some people very upset, saying like I would rot in hell and this is total blasphemy and how dare you, and there's a whole wide range of things, like, because it's not like, I think people recognize the instant hypocrisy if they don't like that, but yet they've got pictures of Trump being hugged by Jesus and people saying, oh, Trump is and Donald too. Let's not call him Trump because that's respectful. Call him Donald because that's all he does is he disrespects Kamala Harris every freaking time. Communist, Marxist, all because he's a scared little child. He doesn't want to lose his money. I mean, and not all of it is just about keeping your money. Like there is some actual good Republican values. Like, I mean, it's not all garbage, but like at the same time, and it's also about perception too. So a lot of what I see in my own echo chamber is the garbage of Republicans. They don't brag about the good things about them because then that would be pro-Republican. They just focus on all the bad. Oh, careful, sheep. Um, and it's the same the other way too. Like all they see are a bunch of cross-dressers, transgender people trying to make kids transgender and trick them into whatever, or mutilation or not having kids or all of the scare tactics that they have. I mean, and that's something that I don't even want to touch because my personal opinion is South Park every time. Like South Park for the win. Like they make the most sense. They just, unapologetically like say what they're thinking. Like, no. Like the Lawfin episode. Like, yeah, you could totally get this cosmetic surgery to look like a dolphin, but you're not going to go breathe underwater. You're not going to go swim better. Like, and it's changing too. Like it's getting better every time, like more and more realistic, and that's fine. Like, and I don't know. But anyways, back to religion. So I did that. It got a lot. In fact, let's look at it. It's pretty, and I'm only making it worse. Oh, geez, what is this? Sorry, I mean, technically I do start working at 8 in the morning and like I start answering messages. I already went through all my messages and I checked everything. There's no fires. I actually even started writing a response that I need to send out here relatively soon. What is this? Okay, actually, I need to answer this question real quick. But we're going to look up because I do IT. I mean, when things go wrong, and this is just a question about access, so I need to figure that out real quick. But anyways, and while my phone's slowly loading this ridiculous. All right. Okay, let's see. All right, I think that's a pretty good answer. Um, okay. Um, hmm, actually, hmm. Can't. Oh. Hmm. Sorry, she's just very quick in the responses, but um. All right, cool. Hmm. All right, anyways. Oh, dang it, I locked my phone again. So my phone is incredibly slow for a few reasons. I've got way too many travel pictures from the last time I was around the world. I literally flew around the world twice in the last few years. It's been awesome. But anyways, no. So my X app, which I hope stays very segmented away from my work. Like, I mean, honestly though, like I mean, if any of people in my work saw the stuff that I was posting, it'd be like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's shocking at first, and it's social engineering, and it's meant to be a shock and awe. But let's see, it's got 38.2 thousand views, 44 likes, 8 reef posts, 119 comments, and I haven't even answered all of them, and I'm trying to. And so, in my bag of tricks are, I've got a picture of me holding the book Mary Magdalene Revealed by Megan Watterson, I think it is. Anyways, I think she's a lesbian that she was raised Christian and was very confused as to why, God doesn't like people that are non-heterosexual. And I say that because, like, it's not just fair to say, gay people or whatever, but like non-traditional heterosexual relations is frowned upon by the Bible. It's called blasphemy. It's called an abomination. But you got to remember, this book was written back in the times where the survival of the human race demanded that you have a heterosexual family. Like, I mean, you need to raise kids in a way that will create more kids. Now, that's not the case anymore. Same with men needed to be the leaders of the household because they were the ones that had the jobs. They made the money. And even if, you wanted to talk about fairness or anything, it's hard to tell somebody what to do with their money by nature. Like, you get money somehow, whether it's through a good reason or a bad reason. And I say that because I'm specifically thinking about Donald Trump. Like, he just got handed $300 million. Like, all right, here you go, kiddo. Don't screw it up. And he screwed it up several times. But, and overall now he's worth billions, and he's quick to remind you about that because he's so insecure about not being like one of the wealthiest people ever. And it's just such a big deal for him that it's like, it's kind of pathetic. And, and for everybody else in the real world that has lived paycheck to paycheck and worked, very ghetto and bogus jobs doing really stupid things a lot of time, like, it's horribly offensive because it's like, wow, good job. Like, you started, it's like trying to be in a race with somebody and then they get like a 5-minute head start. They're already done with the race like 5 times over before you even start. And it's like, what was the point of racing against this person? Or it's like trying to run a foot race against someone who's driving a car. Like, oh, okay, oh, my bad. I shouldn't have sucked so bad at life. Like, whatever. And it doesn't even matter. Like, everybody's capable of greatness. We've proven that people are no different. That's actually one of the biggest things I'm trying to, like, convince Chinese government officials about is, like, there is no reason that one person should be better than another. All right, wait. Okay, this is dangerous. And there we go. It still works. There's so much lava here. I guess it's magma since we're under the Earth's crust. If this is even Earth, this is the Minecraft Earth. So, anyways, religion. So this meme, he's got, and the biggest part was I posted it to Joey Manorino, which is this very big. He's got like 500,000 followers, huge religious and political MAGA type person, and he reposted my thing. So, and then I went to go respond to replies on his XApp post. And basically, I've got a picture of Mary Magdalene's book saying that Jesus had a, basically fiance is what I'm going to call her. Because he had a girlfriend, Mary Magdalene. Oh, jeez, that's so scary. I don't know. Oh, I came out of this one. That's it's so messed up. All right, but anyways, so, yeah, we'll just keep doing that. Actually, well, no. I was going to say, let's go sleep, but... So anyways, there's that. There's a picture of all the different places in the Bible that describe the devil. And that's really important because they all describe Trump, like, builder of tower, although they also describe me too. It describes anybody that has more wealth than they know what to do with and that are scared of losing that wealth. Like, you could basically just say that about everybody. It's human nature to get really comfy with the idea of, oh, I have a lot of money. This is nice. I don't have to worry and stress, especially when you see all these other people like worried, stressed, losing their homes. Like, especially now with the whole natural disasters going on, all the hurricanes in the Southeast America, like, it's terrible. And these people are seeing Trump come with a bunch of stuff. Sorry, this got way political, and I'm trying to keep it religious. So anyways, let's focus back on it. He checks all the boxes of what describes Satan, like breaker of treaties, the lawless one, constantly seeks attention or admiration, boastful. Like, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't hear like Trump say, I've got billions. I mean, again, that's my echo chamber because that only shows the bad, not the good. And I'm sure he says a lot of good things. I have a lot of friends that are just sold on him because they sit there and listen to him. And then they listen to like little snippets of Kamala Harris and like, nope, she's evil, she's the devil. And a lot of it's about abortion too. Now, and that's my biggest thing is like abortion, yeah, it's a scary topic and it's not like something that everybody loves to go do. Like, oh, yay, I'm gonna go get an abortion. Like, no. And according to the Bible, blah blah blah, like, although the Jewish faith, I'm pretty sure, believes that life begins at the first breath. But, whatever you believe, there's a simple way to solve abortion. Make it to where families feel confident that having a kid wouldn't be a financial burden. That's it. Universal healthcare, universal pre-K, all these things that Kamala Harris is like campaigning for and trying to do, and Joe Biden was doing before her with her. Like, and that's why I like, her stance, because it's just 4 more years of what they've been doing, and I like what they've been doing. So, okay. So it's an easy choice for me, but and everybody's entitled to their opinion. But they're not thinking like, oh, that's too much work, like, or too much greed, or, how do you can take money from someone. Who cares if you take money from Donald? Like, he was given it. He didn't do anything for it. He was born. That's it. And now he's like, guilt tripping everybody else for like not sucking it up and working hard and picking themselves up by their bootstraps. It's one of my favorite memes is like, let's tax the billionaires because they're so good that they'll just pull themselves up by their bootstraps and make more. Because they know it, they won't. They know that it was pretty much sheer luck or whatever, like how the planets aligned for them to get so rich, and that they really couldn't recreate it if they tried. I mean, and if Trump, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I hope Trump gets reincarnated as like a kid in, some very poor place. And people used to say like Africa and all that, but now, I mean, everyone's catching up. Like, the world is fixing the problems without the help of the politicians and the greedy, wealthy people. Because I mean, they might think they're helping, and some do. I'm not saying all, but like overall, a person is a lot less likely to care when they're already comfortable and set. And they're like, what, I'm good. Good luck with all that, or oh, I'll pray for you, or something. It's like a cop out, like, God will do this. Well, what if God is telling? Now, this is really blasphemous, and I don't really believe this, but what if God is telling people like me to troll the greedy people? And actually, that would make sense, because greed is very frowned upon, too. I mean, and if you're looking at, like, ratios and statistics of, like, what's the worst thing to do in the Bible? Kill somebody. Okay, well, Trump wants to bring back the death penalty for nonviolent crimes. Okay, that's a concern. Check that box. Like, that might be something to check back into. And people don't realize this. And then I post a video of Trump admitting on a Fox interview that, because the Fox interviewer said, you realize that your stance on this crime would actually be, sorry, I got distracted. Murder. Breaking one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill. And then the 10 commandments, I went down a whole list one time on a Robert Reich video in the YouTube comments. And basically, Donald Trump has broken every commandment now that he wants to bring back the death penalty, because murder by pen, murder by policy is still murder. He is directly causing someone's death. That, I believe, is forbidden from the Bible. Anyone who actually studies and reads the Bible would be like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, now abortion, that's a tricky gray area, because at what point does life start? I think it's 4 weeks for the heartbeat. I think 6 to 10 weeks for brain functionality. And so when you put it that way, like an abortion ban after a certain point, or not abortion ban, abortion limitation, like to where it has to be not so much a financial decision, but more like, and it shouldn't have to be a financial decision ever. Like, people should have access to contraceptives. That's why I say universal healthcare, because everybody's going to do what people do. That's not, it's really dumb to think that, oh, family planning and I'll hold out and wait. And that causes so much animosity. And why do you think people kill their spouse or significant other when they catch them cheating or anything? Is because they place so much importance on, okay, it's a major decision. This is the one and only person for me for the rest of my life. And I'm going to try to have a family and raise kids with this person. And that's not the case anymore. Like, families are all sorts of shapes and sizes and different configurations. Like, it's not the end of the world that way, but no. And so, and it's really just abortion and gay rights. Those are the two things that they come back with. Everything else is totally aligning with Jesus' teachings, like take care of your neighbor, love thy neighbor, welcome the foreigner. Oh jeez, now I'm all worried that I'm going to pop out up there. So, anyways, and just all these things, like there's so many more passages in the Bible about being nice to each other and taking care of each other and not being so greedy. Like greed, it's just ridiculous. Like King Herod was known as like a horrible person. Like he had too much money and power and abused it and was like ordering people murdered and killed and all this and like, whatever, the all this bad stuff. And it's like, oh, whoops. Oh, I meant to do that. Okay. So I'm basically calling Donald King Herod 2.0 because that's just what happens when human. And I've been wording it like that. Like it's not just Donald, it's anyone. It's human nature to have greed, to show greed. Like that's it. I mean, that's why they said be careful. If you get greedy, you'll become a prick. Like that's about it. You'll stop being nice to each other. You'll stop like doing the right thing. Like, all of these dangers. And so yeah. Oh, I wonder how much I can be heard by my neighbor too. I just realized. Anyways, it's fine. It's fun. Plus, I've only got another few minutes and I'll be back to work. So, anyways, and I think that, whenever I talk about religion and politics, it's hard not to think about, wait, like Lisa's tooth. The Simpsons have an episode where Lisa becomes a god of a small group of beings that grow on this fungus on one of the teeth that she lost. And they start making statues of her. They worship her, and then Bart comes in, and he's the destroyer because he's like, "Oh, cool, look," and he's just being a typical boy, like doing, not thinking first, like squashing bugs or whatever, like thinking it that way, like, look at this is fun. But then, like, and then it turns out like you're actually like killing people, like, no, stop, Bart, and all this, and then there's a whole back and forth. And same with Bender in Futurama. Like Bender gets hit with a space rock and this life starts forming on him. And it's like one of those things like you'd see in a writing class. Like, what would you do if you were God of some kind of civilization or group of beings? Like if you became God, what would you do? And Bender like gives an honest try. Like, no, stop killing each other, be nice to each other and all this. And like they end up like going to war and killing each other, blowing each other up over who Bender loves the most, and Bender could give a rip less anyway. Like, I mean, he's notorious for not caring about emotions, feelings, or common sense or anything. Like, he's just a risky drunk basically. Like, and again, human nature. Like that's just human nature. If you use too much alcohol or any kind of drug or substance, like, and it's a relief from any pain or stress or whatever you're having, but oftentimes it causes a lot more pain and stress down the road. And then that's whole substance use and substance abuse mentality. So anyways, back to the religion thing. So it's huge. Like a lot of people are weighing in on this and and it's all on Kamala Harris's post. And I think it's so funny. Like I just wonder what like the look on her face when she sees all this stuff and she'd be like, oh my gosh, who's this crazy person? And I actually know somebody that's on her team. Not very well, but I mean, it could very easily come back to me at like my work, and that's why I'm very careful with how I say things. I'm just like trying to use logic and reason. Be like, okay, well, the Bible says this. Be on the lookout for a builder of towers. As I look at two towers that I build, a boaster, someone who constantly needs to brag about how great they are. That's all he does. He's like, he's like, and I know the best people and all this because he's trying to sell you. Like he's trying to convince you to trust him with like all this money, and then he does these little short tricks like, oh, I'll donate my entire salary. Yeah, what's a salary to him? He made much more, millions if not more billions of dollars off of abusing the presidential seal, having a golf tournament at his golf course, or having his Secret Service posted up at all of his hotels and his resorts and I love that they get pampered like that. That's cool, and I think every Secret Service should do that because they're essentially putting their life on the line for someone else. So I agree with that. I think that's really cool. And same with how he's housing all these 250 linemen that are going to fix the power lines and stuff from these natural disasters. Although, and here's the fun meme that I've posted before, like, I forget what it exactly said, but it was something to the tune of, how billionaires look when they donate money to a charity that wouldn't exist if they didn't hoard their wealth. Like this wouldn't even be an issue if wealthy people just paid their taxes. And now we got to like go after, and it's because the lower paying tax people like you and me, we're easily auditable because our companies already report what they paid us. So then they're looking for a certain percentage of that pay to come back in taxes. It's not that difficult. Now it gets difficult with all these people that have all these different loopholes and, different kind of circumstances and different reasons to where, oh no, no, he's good. He doesn't need to pay taxes on that. Or Trevor Noah puts it the best when he talks about how like Elon Musk was able to basically use money he didn't have to get loans to buy something, but yeah, he won't pay taxes on it because it's not money that he has. So it's like, wait, you can use it for this, and that's fine, but you can't, pay anything on it? Like, that's ridiculous. He should lose, like, what, 40% of his shares to tax or something. Just boom, done. Like, you've won the game. You've won capitalism. Now, calm down. Let other people have fun in their life, like, and just be happy with that. But the thing is, Elon Musk is just idle now. He's got so much, and he is totally simping for the Donald, even though the Donald, okay, back to the checking the boxes. So Boastful One demands admiration, which Trump had the beauty pageant girls, like, they told him, his staffers told him, or the people that worked for Trump told him to act impressed with Donald when he comes in and all this. And, and it's like he was basically buying family love that he may or may not have gotten from his own family. Of what, 3 wives that he cheated on, and he broke the, thou shalt not commit adultery, like thou shalt not cheat on your wife, and that's where like ethical non-monogamy comes in, because it's not cheating if you're upfront and honest with each other and you talk it out, and if it's just lust, not love. Like, there's so many different ways to go about it, but he took shortcuts and he just threw money at it. The whole Stormy Daniels thing, like, he paid hush money to this person, and and nobody like bats an eye at that. Like, oh, I mean, he's like doing all these things that would make, religious leaders just be like, what are they doing? And so, yeah. But abortion and gay marriage, those are the 2 things that people fixate on. Never mind that, like, he wants to murder people now. Like, that's murder. That's killing people, like, for nonviolent crimes. Like, and so it's giving a lot of people pause, I guess, is what the thing. And I got to get going here, Sue, so I got to get to work. But anyways, it's making people pause, like, and actually think about this type of stuff. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, you're right. The Bible does say a lot of these other things that Donald's kind of not doing. And just calling him Donald is making people pause, because it's like, wait, that's so disrespectful. And then they start noticing it when everyone keeps saying Kamala and all that. Oh, and then Tate or whatever, the dude, I forget his name, but he's a total womanizer. He's like, calls himself an alpha male all the time, slept with like a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old, whatever's legal in England, but it's not legal here. And then he's trying to talk about, I don't know. He's a total douche, and like, I hate him, but sorry, I shouldn't say that. He's a total D-bag. There you go. That's a little more PG, but, and yeah, so then I even posted something on one of his things about like the wife of Jesus and stuff. And that's going to cause an uproar, but at the same time, anybody that knows anything about it is going to be like, well, actually, yeah, he did have a love interest. Mary Magdalene was like his closest follower. I think Peter or Paul or one of the other apostles was very jealous of the love that Jesus gave to them. And so I'm starting to wonder, is that dude gay? Like, did we have homosexuality like in the apostles? Like, how jealous was this guy of Jesus's love for a woman? Okay, so that's something to point out, make people think. And that's the thing about social engineering, positive social engineering. I'm trying to break these people away from their stigma, or decouple them from all of this conditional programming that they get from watching speech after speech from a guy who wants to keep his money. Like, it's ridiculous. So they will come up with all sorts of backflips and cartwheels to just justify literally breaking every rule that all holy books say. It's not just Christianity, Islam, Judaism. They all say greed is bad, give back to the poor, treat each other nice, don't be a prick. And what does he do? Comrade Kamala, every single speech. Comrade Kamala is coming for your guns, for your money, for your pets. Like, immigrants are eating pets, which they're not. That was one lady with mental wellness, mental health issues, and she was a citizen. Like, yes, it was very disturbing, but again, the backflips that these people will do to try to confuse you and trick you into thinking that someone is worse than they are. Now, mind you, Kamala was still saying those nonsense lies about good people on both sides, making people think that Donald liked white supremacists. Like, no, that's not what he meant. But he meant preserving history, which can be respected. And again, South Park has a flag episode about how histories do need to change. All right, anyways, there's my alarm. I got to get to work. Have a great day, everybody. Ta-ta. Be nice to each other. Like Sniper Wolf says, be kind, all that. So, have a great day. All right. See ya.